Yo,
Yo, what's up, bro?
what's good, bro?
I'm doing good. Can you see me?
I can see you. I can see your beautiful face.
You're so sweet. Sweet as always.
Yeah, you know.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just living life. I apologize for being a handful of minutes late on you.
It's all good. We're just laying in bed, doing
Yeah.
nothing. Quarantined up.
Yeah, right. How is
hmm
I mean, I'm sure everybody always is asking you the question, how has your quarantine been? But how has your quarantine been?
Just doing nothing but working and sleeping
Yeah.
and staying safe. Yeah, that's all you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, man. I mean, like people, especially the more bored you get, I feel like people are more overlooking the fact that you're healthy. So first and foremost, I'm glad you and your family are healthy.
Likewise.
I would imagine everybody in your family is healthy. I haven't heard otherwise. So
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
yeah, of
Seriously.
course, man. But yeah, so I mean, people hopping in. I'm sure there's kind of a mixture, a hodgepodge of an audience here. If you don't know who this gentleman is, this is Jerome. Um,
What?
he is a hip hop super talented artist from Georgia. Him and I have become pretty tight over the past year or so. We toured
Absolutely.
together last holiday season on the Nightmare After Christmas tour, which was a fucking rager. So had a lot of fun there, and pretty much became almost. I mean, I consider you one of my best friends, like a brother.
Absolutely. I consider you that too.
I appreciate that, bro. A lot of deep conversations, especially in where was it? Toledo.
Uh,
Um, but
that was a fun time.
that was
Toledo,
yeah,
that was hilarious.
that was fun. Definitely woke up on the chair the next morning, so to speak, on that one. But yeah,
I
so
couldn't move you. You're too big,
it's terrible.
too
I,
small.
I was ashamed to say the least. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, Jerome's an artist out of Georgia. Definitely been on the come up like crazy. Been fortunate enough for him and I to connect on songs on several different occasions, and obviously connect on the live show aspect of things this past holiday season. So I think we learned a
Oh
lot
yeah.
together, and I think something that's really cool. Before I kind of get into any of the questions, I think something that's been really cool about you and I, like we are very much like, we're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to build a fan base. We
Yeah.
want to be able to kind of continue to grow our movement and take this to the moon, so to speak, and continue to grow it and take it as big as we possibly can. And it's been
Absolutely.
really cool to kind of do something like that and be able to bounce ideas off one another, be able to send song ideas to one another and kind of learn things together. I think that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this podcast is, or well, I guess you call it a podcast, IG Live, whatever you want to call it, just kind of interview podcast, fucking
No,
shoot
this
shit, chill.
this is
Uh,
a dope idea. I really like this.
Thanks, man. But yeah, I mean, one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this, and especially have like the homies on for the first gathering of episodes, is that like I've gotten to know you guys, like Jay Wright, yourself, guys like
Oh
Dylan
yeah.
Reed, and we're kind of in that bubble of artists where we're learning together, and as time goes on, we're seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, but we're all like friends. We're all in it together. We're not like, I mean, there's always a sense of competition, but it's always like there's enough spots for all of us. So like, why not, kind of group together and be able to use each other as resources as opposed to like enemies. Um,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
damn right, yo, damn
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's something that I've always like super respected about you is you've always been so open. You've always been so helpful. And just like a fucking great friend. So thank you for that.
Likewise, man. Seriously. My
Yeah.
God, I'm just getting showered with compliments. Wow.
Yeah.
We should do this more often.
Yeah.
Nah, but
Um,
you're the GOAT. You know that.
nah, the feeling is more than mutual, man. But yeah, so I mean, before we even get into questions, like any artists that are in here, like, yo, fucking team up with people that are around you that are like-minded, that are trying to do the same thing, because if you make enemies with people, whether it's in your local scene or whether it's people you're just aware of, if you make enemies with everybody, you're only fucking yourself. So like, don't be an idiot. And like, if people are
Yeah.
like-minded, trying to chase the same dream, like there's enough spots for everybody. So like, you know become cool with everybody, because life's easier that way. But I mean, taking things back to the start, where did music even start with you? Like, I know that's such like a generic question to start with, but I don't even think that's anything that we've actually like naturally talked about in a conversation. Like, for me, when I was in high school, like I stumbled upon poetry, and it became something that, you know, grew into this obsession of writing music. Like, where did it start for you?
That's really cool. That's pretty dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
For me, I never wrote poetry or anything, but in middle school is when I started writing music, just because it was an outlet for me to vent, or just, that's really what it is. Just putting my life into a song. And, back in middle school, everything I wrote was god awful, but it just felt good, and it helped me, seriously. It's like therapy. But yeah, middle school is when I started, but I didn't actually start putting out music till my freshman year of high school. And
Yeah.
that's when it started. And that was horrible too, because I didn't even know you had to mix and master music. I just got like a $60 microphone and recorded. It was a remix to Successful by Drake.
Oh,
And that was my first song in
classic.
freshman year of high school class. I know you would know it. So
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
that's where it began for me. But I like how you started with poetry. That's neat. And
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
sure it helped.
Dude, oh, totally, man. Like, especially like you talking about like, you know, writing music when you were in middle school and stuff like that. For me, like, I wish I would have like stumbled upon it that early. Like, I only started putting out music when I was like halfway through college, and like I was going through that phase of like when I was a sophomore in college, putting out music that was like, when I say complete garbage, like literally complete garbage. So like trying to find, you know, in terms of quality and like writing and everything like that. So that's super cool, because when I was in like grade school, middle school, and high school, music really didn't have like that type of impact for me. So that, I can't imagine how cool it would be to kind of go through school, especially like people go through a lot of shit in grade school, man. Like, I feel like
Absolutely. Yeah.
a lot of people totally downplay, like, I mean, to sound like, not to sound grim, but like you hear about people, you know, kids all the time, like killing themselves and stuff. Um, you know, in high school, and there's a lot of shit you go through, a lot of peer pressure, and just a lot of like just
Yeah.
negative emotions you experience when you're that young. And I truly think like when you're that young, you're not like mentally prepared and emotionally
No.
prepared to handle some of those like emotions. So it's so fucking cool that you had something, at least like, even if the quality and you know the song, like, you know, the songwriting wasn't, you know, where you wanted it to be, you at least had like kind of a blank slate to be able to get things out, you know,
Yeah. No. That's
out
what
of
it
you.
was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's super cool, man. Like, and you know, as time went on, when is it something? When did it go from something that was like a therapy thing and something that was more beneficial for you than anything? When did it become something that you started to view like a serious career option?
Well, that's a good question. Not to sound like cliche, but like soon once I got to my freshman year of high school and I did start putting out music, like it's always been in my head that yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Um,
Yeah,
but for it to be like an actual serious was, I think, my senior year of high school. I put out a song called "Play to Set Your Party," and it
yeah,
did, like 100, 200K views pretty quick, and I was like, holy. So I was like, wow, so it is possible. Then when I met this was a big turning point, is when I met Logic when I was in high school. I think I was 16, 17. I met Logic, and I chilled with him, and I just talked to him briefly, and I asked him as much as I could, because in that moment I was like, I gotta ask him all these questions so he gives me like advice and all that,
soak up as
and he
much
did.
game as you can. Yeah,
Yeah, I need to just learn as much possible in these 10 minutes. And
yeah,
he was literally like the awesomest person I've ever met. That's not a word, but he was awesome, and he gave me great advice. But in that moment is really what I was like, okay, so he's just a real ass dude doing what he
mhm.
loves, and it's possible. So that was a big moment for me.
Hell yeah. That's fucking amazing, man. Like, well, first of all, like, how did it feel to get like, you said like 100K, 200K views? How do you think that happened? And like, how did you fucking feel to be like, holy shit?
Well, how it we were able to make it happen, is, Chris, if you're still in here, he linked me with this, um, my one of my good homies. His name is Albert, and he's a gaming YouTube personality, and that was well, I wouldn't say the first because we did some before that, but he was getting into music video directing, editing, production, and he was doing that with me, and we were kind of just working together, learning it together, and he already had like a following through his YouTube channel. Chris is still in here, he knows. Shout out to Albert, but yeah,
Chris,
so
what up, dog? I miss you.
that helped, he helped promote it, and tons of people heard it, and I was like, wow, and that just goes to what we were saying earlier about teamwork, networking, meeting people, working together. It
Yep.
only expedites the process, and it gives you opportunities that you would never have if you didn't, network and meet people. So shout out to Albert, he's great, and Split Us at Your Party in high school did that rather quickly. And then after that, I just kept putting out music, as you know, as I do. So now we're here.
That's amazing, man. Like because are you doing? And I don't want to misspeak. Are you doing music full time?
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome. Number one. Number two, like
absolutely.
what advice do you have like for musicians that are trying to like, or artists that are trying to like, go from square one and make this into something that's financially sustainable? Because I think that's like a slippery slope for a lot of people, and a lot of people really really don't. And we've had conversations about this. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of people don't understand like everything that goes in to like being an artist, like being a professional artist, and like all the moving parts that go into being able to just stay afloat. And like how many artists out there might portray, oh, like I'm rolling in money and money's not an option. But in reality, like, you see behind the scenes and you pull back the curtain, like there's a lot of stuff that creates a lot of pressure and a lot of
yeah.
stress for a lot of artists to try to stay afloat. So like, what are your pieces of advice for artists that are trying to like I said, take it from scribbling, songs in a notebook to be able to make this into like an actual financially sustainable career?
I have two pieces of advice that I consider like, you know, you have to do. One, you have to be authentic. And when you start making music, and it's something I've struggled with, you try to mimic what you think
Yeah.
works, what sounds good, what you hear and is working for other artists. You're like, okay, so I just got to do something like this. But over time, you really just got to find yourself, find your sound, make the music you want to make, and just block out any negative energy or words, criticism that's just not constructive, and just do what you want to do and stay authentic to yourself. Don't try to be or something you're not. Don't try to replicate another artist. Um, just be yourself. I mean, I know that's cliche, but it's the truth. That's all you got to do, really. And
No,
then,
but dude, I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
yeah. And then, you know who Gary Vee is, right?
Absolutely.
He posted, and I thought this would be perfect to share it because I saw it and I really liked it. He posted something. It was a picture, and it was a flower, and the flower represented like your brand. What's up, Apollo? I'm Jerome's
Oh,
fan.
Paulo's in here. What up, man? I don't know if him and I have ever actually had a conversation, but I am.
Apollo,
I'm a fan.
he's a better rapper than me for sure, but
He
he's the
kills it.
dopest dude. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but the Gary Vee thing. It was a picture, and the flower was like your brand, your business, what you want to do, and content was the water and the sun, and he was pouring water, and the sun was beating on it, and I laughed because I was like, wow, I mean that's so true. Just create content, keep doing it, even when you feel discouraged, just keep creating. It's just what you contribute to the world, and it's gonna help with your brand, and it just never stop.
Yeah,
What's the saying? It's a marathon, not a sprint.
totally.
I think
Yeah.
that's the best advice.
And I think it's so. And you brought up like a lot of fucking like awesome points. Like, and it's so easy to like go the other way. It's so easy to not be authentic because it doesn't require as much hard work. Like
Yeah,
when, you
absolutely.
know when you listen to guys like Gary Vee or any of those dudes, like I'm a big fan of this guy named Ed Milet. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all, but he's
Hmm.
he's in the same kind of like lane as Gary Vee. Has like
Hmm.
motivational like life tip type stuff. Um, but like the biggest thing that a lot of those guys talk about, and you hit the nail on the head, like it requires hard work. Like no matter which
Mhm.
angle you look at it, like you got to bust your fucking ass regardless. And like it's really difficult like when you're trying to start out, like you want to you're looking at another artist and it's so easy, and I still do this, and I don't know if you do this, but like I still catch myself like sometimes comparing myself to other artists and I feel shitty
Yeah.
about myself, you know, whether you're
Yeah,
looking at
that's like
numbers.
poison.
Yeah,
I
like
do it
oh my
too.
dude, it's crazy. Like if I have it, like if I could give one piece of advice to people that are, whether it's in music or whether it's whatever you're trying to like pursue, like once you start comparing yourself to other artists, or whether you start comparing yourself, you know, if let's say I don't know, you're in finance, if you start comparing yourself to other people in finance, that like you said poison, you just drank like a glass of like the most fucking self poisoning like what you
Yeah,
know
you
liquid you
can.
could possibly drink.
Absolutely.
Vabo just hopped in here. What up, dude? But
What's
like,
up, Vabo?
sorry, is it Vabo or I probably mispronounced it.
Maybe I
Uh,
mispronounced it. I don't know.
Either way,
But
he makes fucking
music, his
fire.
music's insane.
Yeah,
So sick.
but yeah, I appreciate you hopping in here, man. But like, yeah, it's something that is so easy to do because it's around you, man. It's like social media. Instagram is the highlight reel of everybody's life posted publicly. So it's so easy to like,
Yeah.
no matter how good you might be doing individually, it's so easy to like just look at somebody else that's doing better because dude, there's always going to be somebody that's doing better than you in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to be in first place in every aspect of your life, and that is something that is so like it's so powerful in a negative way. Like you could be in the best mood ever and feel great about yourself, and then like stumble upon like one post or one, you know, whatever, and like it completely like just knocks your legs out from under you. And that's
Yeah.
something like I struggled with that for a while. I mean, is that something like you went through? I would imagine so, but
Oh yeah, I've always gone through it. I still go through it. Especially, in music, it's such a numbers game, and you always wonder like, what I need to get my numbers up. I got to be like this. I got to do this. But at the end of the day, like Mabba said, it's toxic. It's
so
like I said, it's poison. That's what it is. You can't do it. It'll just eat you alive from the inside. Just gotta stay focused, stay driven, stay positive, and just do what you love. Create.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
like, and that kind of leads into like one of the things that I know we talked about it before. And I, you know, to be completely frank, one of the reasons I love having these conversations, whether it's, you know, over Instagram Live or just in person. I don't know if you remember when we were playing the show in Lancaster, which was the biggest show of the tour because that's my hometown. And I was like
Mhm.
kind of tripping. I was fucking like tripping my ass off backstage because like it was the biggest crowd that we had. Like we had a few hundred people out there. Remember I was telling you about like, I don't know if you recall, but I was sitting on that bench
Yeah, I
backstage.
remember.
And dude, I was like beating myself up about like, I was talking about like different things to try kind of like trick your mind into believing in yourself when in reality I just needed to like stop fucking thinking and
I
just
remember.
go up there and have fun.
Yeah.
And that's something like I'm a big proponent of like I'm a big proponent of like meditation. I think is very important. Just kind of self-care, you know, self-care, meditation, gratitude journals, and just having a positive mindset. Like and by no means like am
Absolutely.
I, or even the most positive people you'll see online or whatever, like those people go through, dude, it's all fucking roller coaster. Like they might look like this online, but they might feel like this at some other point in time. And like, I'm another like example where we like, it was the biggest show of the tour. We had a great crowd. Like I had like, you know, we had all the stage, I don't know if you know, you remember all the extra stage lighting and like
Oh,
the
I
glow
remember. It
sticks
was
were out
crazy.
and like it was all ready to go, like, but all I was thinking about was me fucking up, and I had to sit there and like try to, I was almost just kind of like trying to let it out. And then I remember you were like, yo, like you're a fucking star, like go up and just do it. And
Yeah.
like there is no other way that should have been put. And I just needed like that kick in the ass. And I don't say that's for me to talk about myself all the time, but like I know you've been through some of those same types of feelings. I know other artists
Absolutely.
stuff all the time. Like, dude, some of the biggest artists in the world probably feel like that. They're backstage like, holy fuck, I better not, you know, like maybe their voice is a little iffy that day, or maybe like there isn't quite as many tickets sold that they expected, or I don't know,
Yeah.
like somebody showed up late for the sound engineer, I don't know, something, you know, like there's something that you can overthink and like
Yeah.
start fucking dwelling on that. And it's like, you got to let that shit go, especially in music. Like, it's your self-expression. Like, go up there and just fucking be in it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And has there been, like, for you personally, is there anything you kind of do, like, as a part of your, especially now in quarantine? I feel like a lot of people are going through negative thoughts right now because you're kind of stuck. You know, you're stuck, things are
Yeah,
stagnant, can't
in a
play stuff.
cycle.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a monotonous cycle. Like, is there anything that you do that, like, that you do for yourself to keep yourself in like tip top, or try to keep yourself in like a top mental shape?
That's a good question. I think it's important just to, I don't know, I think I don't know, I think naturally I'm just a positive person because, what's the point of being negative? I mean, you got to be optimistic, you got to keep pushing, and it's hard right now because we're stuck at home, quarantine. It's like we're stuck in, like I said, a cycle, you
Yeah,
know, but
fucking Twilight Zone out here.
yeah, there you go. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, you know. I
Yeah,
just try to stay focused, love life, surround myself with people I care about and love me, and just do what I love to do, make music, play video games, watch movies. Just do what you want to do, like that's that's a little something you can do to stay happy. It's all about being happy.
yeah. And dude, I think it's so quick, like in music, and I'm sure you feel like this, like there's always something to do. Like you kind of feel as though if you're not where you want to be, you should be working 24/7, and then you end up kind of wringing yourself out. You stretch yourself too
Yeah,
thin, and
absolutely.
you
That's
know, you
the
go through a point where
worst.
you kind of get you're sucked dry. You know what I mean? You're out of creativity, you're out of energy, and like when you talk, even like playing video games or watching a show or whatever. I think it's so important to like, and you just said happy, like it's literally that. Like you got to maintain like your routine of doing things that just you enjoy that aren't music. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
and you mentioned like surrounding yourself, and I always love talking to people about this, especially in your case because I met Lindsay, your girlfriend. If anybody doesn't know, Lindsay is Jerome's girlfriend, and
Yeah,
she's fucking awesome. And
yeah.
how important is it, and you met my fiance Christy, when you guys crashed at my house,
Oh yeah.
like how important is it for you to like what role does she play in your life, not only just in your regular life but just in terms of like your music career? What role does she play, and like how important is it for you to have like a partner that's so supportive of something that means so much to you?
I mean, I love Lindsay to death, and she's just the greatest thing that's ever happened to me because, I mean, she is so supportive. She films my like I'm dropping the first single from my upcoming album this Friday. Uh, and she filmed the music video. Um, she came on
that's
tour with me.
that
She
is
was
so
moving merch.
fucking amazing. That's so amazing.
Yeah, we couldn't leave the house, so she filmed the video for me. She we were on tour. She was selling merch for me. She was recording everything, but it's just that extra cushion, when I'm feeling down. She's always there for me, and it's like you got to surround yourself with people that love and care about you, and you love and care about them, just to also just give you that cushion and support you. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Half the stuff I've done in the past year, I don't know if I could have done it without her. So I'm just super grateful for her.
Yeah,
And, I'm sure you feel the same way about your fiance. I mean, I'd be lost. She's helped
yeah,
so much just with me personally and the music side of everything.
yeah. And I think like, not only being able to like celebrate the successes with those types of people, like, to have the celebratory moments,
Yeah.
I think it's super important. And like you said, like, be able to have that cushion to like kind of talk you off a cliff whenever you need it, like
Yeah.
I,
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely.
like there's sometimes you're big being an artist, like, and I guess really just chasing any type of passion, like you're always your biggest critic. There's always something you think, well, I could have done this or I could have done that better. And it's so quick for you to kind of drill down on yourself. At least in my case, I feel like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that from time to time, and it's awesome to be able to have somebody like, in my case, Christy, or in your case, Lindsay, like, to talk you off a cliff and be like, yo, you need to step back, you need to take a breath. Things are not as bad as you might think they are. You know, take a
Yeah,
breath, and you need to move on. Um, so I don't know. That's something I just think is so important. And like, if you don't have that type of stuff, like if somebody is listening or watched later when I upload this, like, you got to make sure you're surrounded with people that that love you, number one, obviously, but are just supportive of things that mean something to you. Like, you know, you can't have somebody around you that's judging you for doing something you love, or, you know, not supportive of what you're doing. You got to have somebody around you that makes you better, um,
absolutely.
that pushes you to be great. um, and you brought up touring, which I think is such an interesting like topic for you and I, because we've been on tour together.
Yeah,
And you know, like, it's a learning experience. Like, I feel like no matter you could be on your first or 30th tour, you're always learning something. I mean, in no way do I consider myself like a super seasoned, you know, I haven't been on like several parts, you know, several like 30 city tours or anything, but um there's something to be said about getting out on the road and just kind of getting your feet wet and experiencing things and being able to learn on the fly and put up with that kind of pressure. Like,
yeah,
and like, when we toured this past holiday, for the Nightmare After Christmas tour, we only played, what was it, like 5 cities? I think, was it 5 days?
yeah. I'm sure.
It was like Philly, Lancaster, Pittsburgh, Toledo, and Cleveland. So it was 5.
Yes.
And that was still like, it was a pressuring time. It was after Christmas, before New Year's, like, definitely like a compact window of time.
Oh
What
yeah.
like, what were some things, like, since it was your first time getting out on the road, and I think Philly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Philly was like your first show, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What were
No.
some of the things going into, we'll start with Philly here first, but what were some of the things going into the Philly show that, like, that you were nervous about, or that you were excited about? Like, how, I guess, take me, like, kind of put me into your mind, you know, an hour before you went on stage in
Okay.
Philly.
I mean, Philly was just an awesome experience because I mean, I was nervous, obviously, first time performing, and may have had a little bit too much to drink too because of the nerves that night. But uh,
Happens.
nah, I was just remember. I mean, I remember just getting in the venue, met you. You helped me parallel park that damn car because you
That's
know
right.
down here in Georgia we don't do all that stuff. But
Yeah.
so you helped save me when I got to Philly. But I don't know, just the greatest thing about tour was you know, you're nervous and you're like, oh my God, what if I get on stage and, you know, blow it? But just meeting fans and the support of people that you're meeting at these shows is just incredible. And it really pushes you and it motivates you. And when those nerves are just eating at you, just the love that you're receiving, it just, I mean, it amplifies you like cloud nine, just the energy. It's crazy. So that's what I really loved about tour was just each city, the nicest people. And it was just, I was just so happy. And after the Philly show, like for the rest of the tour, I wasn't as nervous. Philly, definitely I was, but just after that night, I just remember thinking like, wow, I mean, this is awesome. These people are awesome, and it's just, it's really, it was a life-changing experience. But yeah, Philly was sick.
Philly, man. The Kung Fu necktie in Philly. I forgot that I parallel parked your car out front of there. I will pat myself on the back there. I thought that was pretty clutch. That was a tight
You
spot.
did it a few times when I got to Pittsburgh, and it was a rental car, and I dented the rim. I pulled up. Chris is still in here. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, you saved me a bunch on the tour with the
Yeah.
parking for sure.
I just remember like loading in, and then I would get a call or text like, "Yo, can you come down and parallel park the car?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got you."
Clutch. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. I'll drive to Georgia and parallel park your car if you need it. You know that.
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm safe here from that. But in those cities, dude, Jesus.
Yeah, dude, it's
Especially
rough.
with the venues that were on the street, you know? These
Yeah,
venues aren't like there's no parking. You just park wherever with all this equipment we're carrying. I was like, oh my God.
yeah, that shit is no joke. Like, and like, what? what were some of the things like maybe you didn't expect that were challenging about it? Like, because you talked about some of the rewarding things, and you know, I can totally like in the shows that we played together and in shows I've played previously, like in different cities that I played. I don't care if I've had like 3 or less fans come out, like, or people that became fans that night. Those conversations are so rewarding. And, you
Yeah,
know, the
absolutely.
connections with people are so fucking, they're beautiful conversations. They're like life altering conversations. That's why I love
Yeah.
touring so much. Even if it's a small
Hmm.
show, those connections and those conversations are like fucking amazing. Like it's like a drug. Like those are addicting conversations. What were some,
Absolutely.
what are some of the things for you that like maybe were like unexpectedly challenging that you were like, oh shit, didn't even think of this. This is kind of tough.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll tell you, the toughest part of tour was how tiring it was, dude. Like, cause what? It was Christmas, then no, Christmas Day, right? Is when we left. Christmas Day is when me, Lindsay, and everyone we drove from Georgia to where did we go? Virginia? I can't remember where we went, but somewhere in Virginia. But it was just so much driving, and it was back to back to back. I'd be exhausted the whole day. Then I'd get to the venue, and I'd be like, all right, I'd come alive because the how fun it is. But then after the show, I'd be like, oh, I'm tired, and then we got to wake up, do it all again. And one thing I was not expecting, and shout out to Alec, how difficult when you get to the venue, setting up everything, equipment, mic, sound check. Like me and Chris, because Chris was on tour, he was my DJ. He didn't know how. I was his first time DJing as well. And we'd get to the venue and we'd be like, "Oh God, where does this chord go? We got 10 minutes till sound check. I don't even know where I am, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Complete panic mode, trying to connect everything, sound check. But after all that was finished and the doors open, it just, serenity, you just excitement.
Yeah. No, dude. I've experienced that feeling way more than several handfuls of times, man. It's like, especially, when you talk about like, that's one thing again, like, I feel like people that come out to shows, whether they're fans or just the average person that, is coming out, they don't really realize all of the extra stuff behind the scenes that goes into like setup. And even before you get to the venue, there's so much that goes into it. But
Oh
especially
yeah,
once you get to the
absolutely.
venue, like, it's like you got like an hour to load your stuff in and do a sound check and set your stuff up. And like, if you have like, we had like glow sticks we would give out, and like something as simple as, I was actually just talking to my aunt the other night, because when we were in Lancaster before your set, I think we handed out like at least over 100 glow sticks. And
Oh yeah.
that's kind of like a staple of my live show. I love to give out the glow sticks. I think it just gives like a whole other vibe, kind of like an EDM, like rave type vibe, to the
Yeah.
show. And when we were on tour together, if people that are in here didn't know or didn't come out or we didn't come to your city, like we gave out glow sticks before Jerome's set. And in Lancaster, I had my cousin. Thank God for him, because I was like, "Yo, like, do you just
Yeah,
want to come
absolutely.
and just kind of be like an extra set of hands, kind of like a utility player?" And like that's something people didn't realize. People always are like, "Oh, yo, the glow sticks are so cool." It's like you didn't realize how time consuming it was to like unwrap 100 of those motherfuckers, pull the tabs out of each one so the light comes on. Like just that little stuff that goes into it. On top of like making sure like you have an adapter for like a 1/4 inch to an aux cable to make sure you can plug it into your computer, or in Alec's case. Thank God for Alec. Like if he's in
He's
here,
the
please,
he's the goat.
dude, literally, he is the goat. Like he is forever the goat, because his knowledge with like being able to hook stuff up and just making sure things run smoothly, and if it's not running smoothly, being able to kind of like troubleshoot and problem solve. That is like such an invaluable skill, yo. Like if any artists are in here, like, and you start touring, have somebody with you that knows how to work that shit, because if you
And
don't,
learn from them.
dude,
I would
exactly.
every time Alec was setting up, I was right there learning how to do it so I could do it myself the next night. But that was just valuable experience.
Absolutely. And especially if you're like a band, like you gotta cue up your drums, you gotta make sure the guitar sounds good on top of the vocals and stuff like that. So there's just so many moving parts that go into it. Um,
Yeah.
But no, it was such a cool experience, man. Like I'll always, remember that, and I hope we get to tour again at some point in the future.
No, absolutely.
Especially as things get bigger for both of us. It's going to be a really cool memory to look back on and be like, yo, remember when we came through the Smiling Moose in Pittsburgh, or when we first met in Philly at the Kung Fu Necktie, and be able to continue to watch things grow for both of us. It's just going to be such a cool thing to look back on, because we learned so much. Like even though I had been on the road before that, like I said, I didn't have any like super extensive like 30 city date. Like I was just talking to Dylan Reese the other day. He FaceTimed. We were talking for a while. I know all of us, like, we have those like hour-long FaceTimes with each other.
Absolutely.
And I was talking to Dylan. I was like, yeah, like we were just talking about touring, and he's like, yo, you have no idea, because he's been out on like 2 or 3 like 25 plus city date tours, and he's like, yo, you have no idea what it's really like yet. And I'm like, you're fucking right, I don't.
Yeah.
Such an experience, man. Tour. There's nothing else like touring. That's why like it sucks now, like with everything kind of at a halt with fucking Corona. It's like that can suck so much energy, and really financially is really, really strapping a lot of independent artists right now.
Yeah.
That don't have that income, like, that relied on touring as like a main source of income for them. So that's like a really thing that some artists have to go through. But touring is such an experience, whether you're in the crowd, and especially if you're an artist getting out there on the road, even if you're playing super small shows. There's so much cool shit that happens that a lot of times you don't even plan for.
Yeah, you just show up and magic happens. So
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. So what music you listening to right now? Since you're in quarantine and things are, you got a lot of time to fucking chillax. Like, what music you listening to?
Oh, good one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been listening to, well, Future just dropped a new album, so of course that's in rotation. Jack Harlow's always in rotation. He's sick.
Super.
But I'll tell you right now, how you doing, Will? Right now, um, I don't know. I've been listening to a bunch of classic rock lately, just because, I don't know, just just what the world's going through right now, and I don't know why. I just associate like classic '80s rock with just like good times, drinking beer in the summer, toes
Yeah.
out, gotta let them breathe, no socks on the sandals,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Just good times. So yeah, I've been bumming a bunch of that on top of obviously Future's new album. How about you?
I don't know. Let me think. I wasn't prepared for that. Let's see. I mean, I always listen to Mike Posner. Definitely a big fan of Mike Posner.
So dope.
And when you brought up like classic rock, there's an awesome band. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I thought somebody commented muted, so I guess I'm not muted. But there's a band called Greta Van Fleet. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yep.
Oh, you like Greta? Oh, fucking A. Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing that you know who they are, because they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've definitely listened to them. That made me think of them when you said classic rock. I mean, like, I love Drake. Even, like there's some Drake stuff.
Always.
There's some Drake stuff I'm not as big of a fan of, but like, I don't know, man. There's something about his music that like he just paints such a picture, man. Like it's so easy to like engulf yourself in. So definitely listen to, what is it, Dark Lane demo tapes, like kind of like a demo mixtape.
Dude, I forgot about that. I need to go listen to that tonight.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't even listened to it yet.
You gotta. That's definitely a soundtrack for the late night drive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to put it.
But yeah, man. I mean, like, what in terms of your music and your songs, like, what are some of your favorite songs that you've made? I know you mentioned like obviously one of the first songs you dropped, "Play This at Your Party." That's what it's called, right? I don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what are your 3 top favorite Jerome songs that you've released?
Top 3 favorite Jerome songs. God, this is tough because I have so many songs.
You do, yo. You have a fucking impressive catalog.
Yeah, I got so many songs. I forget I even have some songs. Obviously, top 3. I'm gonna go with "Ride," which was on my album called 19. Love that song, especially because I'm not rapping in it at all. I'm just singing, and I'm like super insecure about my singing. So that was really me coming out of my shell, and it's a song about Lindsay. And so it was just me tapping in personal writing, breaking down my barriers, getting out my comfort zone, singing. So I love that song. Um, Sleep When I'm Dead. Sleep When I'm Dead on the Darkest Hour EP. Um, if you haven't heard the song, and well, in my opinion, I just feel like that's like one of my most complete songs. Like it's got Lindsay's on it, she's singing on the outro, I'm rapping on it, I'm like aggressively singing the hook, the build up, the production, the beat, like it's insane. Love that song. And three favorite songs I've ever made. I got two. I'll go with hmm. I have a song called Sad Boy Hours, which is kind of like Ride, but it's not like a love song, but it was me again, um, just stepping out my comfort zone, writing a song that's super personal. It was therapeutic to me, just even writing that song, and it really shows, I feel, oh yeah, hold on. Everyone's typing their favorite Jerome's.
Yeah,
Seeing them,
dude,
yeah,
that's
Zelda's
so
good.
amazing. I saw that. I was like, this is fucking amazing that people are typing in all the favorite songs. That's awesome. Yo, quick shout out to everybody
Faded's
hopping
another
in,
one.
bro. I know when I've done these before, it's a little tough to keep up with all the comments, but like I'm seeing most of them, and I appreciate so much everybody hopping in and saying what up.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Faded. Love that song. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. You know my favorite Michael Wavves song, so that's easy. I can give you that. But me, I don't know.
I'll have to. I have that. I saved your. I can't remember whose Instagram story it was, but when if anybody in here, probably obviously nobody would know. I guess Jerome's a fan of my song with Jay Wright called "Up Too Late," and let me tell you, if there
Go.
was a contest on who can sing the falsetto in that hook, Jerome would win that 100% of the time, all the time.
Absolutely.
But no, that's amazing that so many fans are commenting their favorite songs.
Cloud9, definitely my favorite. I do love Cloud9. I forgot about that one. That one's on. Cloud9's on 19. Yeah, love that song.
That's
Thank you,
amazing.
by the way, Will.
Yeah, shout out to all the fans and everybody hopping in and commenting that. That's fucking amazing. Those are
What's your favorite album you've made? Oh my God. Well, it's hard to even answer that because what I do is I put out so many singles throughout the year, and at the end of the year, I group the singles onto an album. So, and it's different than making an album. When I'm making an album, I have to tap in. Like I'm working on an album now called Off the Chain, and right now I'm working on. There's a theme around it, has an energy to it, the whole thing. But I'll say my favorite album, just generalized, is 19. 19. I feel like that has a great blend of me rapping and some smooth records too. So that's for me.
and like you said, your albums like because I noticed you have like 18 and 19. I think you even have 17, right?
Yeah,
Those
and
are those
17.
are the groups of your singles for that year, like 2017, 2018,
Yeah.
2019, right? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean like,
Yep. Spot on.
and you hit on something, interesting. Like, you talk about an album. That's when you like really tap in. Putting a group of singles together and kind of packaging it. Excuse me, like an album. It might not feel exactly like tapping into a concept and really creating a body of work and
Mhm.
a project.
Yeah.
So what are your two most and the fans in here comment away like what are your two most slept on songs that you're like, yo, this song is fucking amazing and it was slept on?
Two slept on songs.
Yeah, of your
Yeah,
own.
20 will be out at the end of the year. Um so I have two albums coming out this year. 20, which is the singles, and Off the Chain. But
Amazing.
two slept on songs. I'll tell you right now, Love Song, Jerome featuring Michael Ways, is
Hey,
one of the
check out
most slept on songs, in my opinion.
that shit's a vibe that has a bounce to it.
I know. We need a video of that ASAP.
We need to do a video, even if it's for something we do in the future. We'll have to do a video for sure.
Another most slept on song. Um, Magic, Magic, Jerome Michael Waves slept on, heavily slept on.
Hey, don't feel
And
don't feel pressured to be biased because I'm right here, man.
no, yeah, no, I just feel like those songs are just like insane, like next level. Like when we came together for those two songs, I feel like that was like our best. Like we put our best effort into the creation of both of those songs, and I feel like it shows. So when I
Dude,
rolled
magic,
through in my
magic.
Hyundai,
That's hilarious that Chris said that. Yo, like when I wrote that, so like if anybody on here doesn't know, I drive a Hyundai Santa Fe, and I'm like secretly self conscious about it because it's a Hyundai Santa Fe. Um, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm just gonna start rapping about, like I don't know. It's like rappers rap about like expensive cars and all that type of shit in like the most like generic surface oriented songs. But I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna start rapping about the fact that I drive a fucking 2009 Hyundai Santa Fe, and everybody else can suck it if they make fun of me for it.
no, I'll tell you, I used to drive. I mean, it's not like I'm flexing. I drive a Nissan now, but I used to drive in high school a Hyundai Sonata. They're good cars. Damn, AC didn't even work. Radio in that car's busted. You can't even turn it up. Whatever the volume's on, that's what that's what you're gonna enjoy it at. But yeah, good car.
We should get matching Hyundai tattoos.
Dead center on our chest, like the Superman symbol, but it's just the Hyundai logo.
So
That's
I'll
funny.
wrap this up here. I mean, we've been on for a good bit here. Like, I know you got the album coming up. What else is kind of the plan for the rest of the year? I know probably some things may have changed based on the state of things with Corona and quarantine and stuff. But like what can fans expect from Jerome for?
AutoZone Jerome letters on the back. That's funny.
What no, I lost my train of thought because Chris is out here cracking jokes. But so what? I mean, what are your plans for the rest of the year? Like, what can we expect?
Good question. Well, unfortunately, with what's going on, touring, I just started touring, but that's on pause again. So right now I'm just focusing on content. Off the Chain, first single, Heartless Now comes out Friday with a music video. And I'm gonna just continue putting out new songs, new videos, just as much content as I possibly can. Shout out to Chris in the chat. He's working with me on merch. We have some insane um just insane merchandise coming out, from shirts. He's working on hats, car decals, everything.
Well,
Like
that's
it's
awesome.
like we're just really tapping in and getting the brand next level with the music. So yeah, just be on the lookout.
That's
Some new
amazing.
from Jerome. Yep.
And Chris is like, I'm gonna log on here because I wanna be able to plug your merch store so everybody can go check it out. But dude, Chris has been such a utility player for you, which is so fucking awesome. Um, especially the
Yeah.
fact especially the fact that like, and I may have this wrong, but I think I'm pretty accurate. Like, didn't Chris have twins like not too long before he came on tour?
Absolutely. Yeah, he did.
Like, if that doesn't say, like support, if like doing that doesn't represent the amount of dedication and like support of you with what you're doing, like I don't know what does. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we talked about
Sure.
earlier.
I'm
Got to
sure he's
surround
in the
yourself.
dog for that.
Yeah, you just got to surround yourself with like-minded people, and then we're all win together.
Absolutely. Now let me plug in here. So, um, oh, my internet's not working. What's your merch store? What's the URL? Because I was trying to find it on here, but for some reason my
JeromeShop.com.
there we go. All right, yo, check it out, man. Because I was looking at it earlier. You got like some killer tie dye pieces. I know you had some of the merch up from tour, and you have some
Yeah,
new stuff as well. So like, if you are in this Instagram live podcast interview, shoot the shit conversation, and you want to be able to support independent artists like Jerome, you need to make sure like you are buying the merch. Not that you need to like blow a paycheck on merch. Not that guys like us wouldn't appreciate that. But that's one of the big ways. Like it makes a much bigger difference than you think. So
Yeah.
Go to, you said it was jeromeshop.com.
Yep, that's it.
Jeromeshop.com. You need to check that out and go cop some merch, because you need to understand how much that means to artists that don't have like big label backing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Everything I get goes right back into it. You know, always new designs, new music to be made. So it all helps contribute back into new content, new clothing, new videos, new equipment, stuff like that.
Yep.
It's always appreciated. I'm super grateful for everyone who's pre-ordered, bought merch on tour. I mean, I think I literally only have left over from the tour 4 shirts, just random sizes. Like they're up on the website, but you know.
Yeah. No, that's amazing though. That's so amazing. Well, man, dude, I appreciate, like I said, the first couple of these podcast episodes I wanted to make sure I had kind of the homies on to be able to, talk about the experiences we had together and kind of have, natural conversation and talk about stuff that we've been through, we've learned from each other, and that we can like help other people with. I think one of the biggest things about these conversations is like people that are watching, I hope you get something from it, like understand that if you're an artist or if you're really chasing anything that you're passionate about and you're trying to like make into your career and financially sustainable, it's always a work in progress. And you got to make sure you surround yourself with like-minded people. You got to make sure, we talked about, our significant others. You got to make sure you have people around you that support you and that love you and understand like, hey, this person is going after what they love. I'm right next to them to, continue to push them to achieve, what they're setting out to do. And
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't express enough how grateful I am for you. When we first connected, I would love to try to find the first conversation we've ever had. Probably was over some sort of social media, but I'm just so grateful that we were able to come together and not only make some fire music together, but just become friends and learn from each other and help each other and be resources for each other. Cause I think like I mentioned earlier, man, it's so easy to become like competitive enemies, so to speak, especially in the music game, especially in hip hop, because it's so ego driven. But I'm so grateful for you for always being somebody I can shoot a text to or shoot a call to. And, I heavily respect your opinion and your insight and your outlook and the fact that you're even there as an option for me to reach out to as a friend. I'm so grateful for that.
Likewise, man. You're one of the realest people I've met. Love talking to you. You always, hell, it was literally like what, a month ago. I was telling you, I was feeling down about something, and you gave some words of encouragement. It really helped me, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you in the tour and everything you did for me. Seriously,
dude, absolutely, man. The feeling is more than mutual. But we'll wrap this up.
yeah.
I mean, thank you again for coming on. Anybody that is still, watching right now or is going to watch once I upload this to my page, make sure to check out Jerome. He's got an album coming out later this year. He's got a whole bunch of content. Might not be touring, but he'll make up for that in music videos.
Yeah, I rap.
When you talk about a catalog, man, this dude is on his Rust shit, man. Like this dude is stacking a catalog. So he has endless amounts of music. So you need to check that out. You need to check out Jerome on Spotify, whatever streaming platform, because he's super talented and you don't want to be late, because when this motherfucker blows up, you don't want to be one of the people that is late to the party.
Wow. What a drop. That was hype.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
You
like that? You like that? I need to.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm on my like funk flex. I need to get some fucking bombs.
Yeah, seriously. Singer / radio host right here.
Dude, I know, I'm trying to be natural. But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for fucking taking the time to come on here. Everybody that watched, thank you so much for watching, that will watch in the future. Check out Jerome. Be on the lookout for his album coming this year.
Yes.
And just fucking check him out, man. Support artists that are out here trying to make it happen, because you can do whatever the fuck you want. And I hope guys like us are examples of that for you.
Yes, and thank you for having me. This is awesome. Keep doing this. This is sick. And sorry. And shout out to everyone who came through, and all the fans. It's just so awesome talking to y'all. I need to start doing this too.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, you're welcome anytime, man. Well, Wavves Wednesday, episode 2, with my not only homie and talented artist, but my fucking brother, Jerome. Appreciate you coming on, yo. I appreciate everybody tuning in and asking questions and just participating. So,
Oh, and thank
fucking
you, Hyundai. Yep.
thank you, Hyundai. Shout out to the new sponsor, Hyundai. That's amazing. But
That's
dude,
funny.
again, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday night. I hope you and Lindsay have a great Wednesday night.
You
Chris, if you're
too,
still
man.
on here, what up, bro? We got to talk soon. I appreciate you hopping through. But thanks again, bro. Take care, man.
Take it easy, dude.